Hey there, Possums. It's John here again. I wanted to make another video for you this evening, and this one is basically about this book that I'm reading, The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. Now, this book, I've only gotten started in on it, but it's pretty freaking amazing. Uh, the first little story he talks about is basically about um, the shoes called Hush Puppies. Apparently, for the longest time, they were pretty popular, and then suddenly there was kind of a tipping point, and all of a sudden nobody was interested in buying them, so they started ending up in thrift stores all over the place. Um, and then another tipping point happened, and obviously I'm just paraphrasing, and I might get it wrong too. Um, but basically, what happened was these college kids started to buy them up from all the thrift stores, and it was all the rage for these college kids in New York or whatever to wear these hush puppy shoes, and then that started catching on with all these famous people, and suddenly hush puppies were making like 4 times as many shoes and 8 times as much money. It was a pretty cool story, and it's interesting. It's like this small set of people, like you and I, for instance, um, just started a trend, and that trend caught on like wildfire, and suddenly everybody was buying these hush puppies. Um, it's interesting, and I highly recommend it if you haven't read it yet. Um, so far, it's phenomenal. There was another section in there talking about um, crime in, I think it was the 70s or something, also in New York. How it was the same amount of people, same class of people that were living in this area, and then suddenly crime just plummeted down to like almost nothing. And he gives a really good explanation as to why that is. Well, a good idea or theory of how that happens. But um, it was really fascinating. Like I said, I would recommend you read it because obviously I'm not very good at talking about books. So I think that should be good for now. I would like to read a couple more books. I have Start With Why book, and I can't recall the author's name, but it's an interesting book as well because it talks about different companies and how they started out and what separated them from other companies. For instance, Apple. Apple started off, and uh, obviously it couldn't compete with Microsoft and the sheer volume of customers. But then when they switched the model to one that's more like buy our products because of the way it makes you feel, or they started advertising in ideas instead of in nuts and bolts. So I hope to finish the tipping point and then move on to Start With Why and go from there. So, Possums, this is John Short again. I'm going to let you go. You guys stay awesome and have a good night. Bye.